Hi, and welcome or welcome back. If you find yourself here, you've likely acknowledged that you find yourself often very in tune with other people's moods, emotional states. And while that isn't necessarily good or bad, it really depends a lot on the circumstances. We're not here to assign morality. We're here to unravel perhaps some of the why, where this comes from. And I'm speaking today specifically with adult daughters of manipulative parents in mind. Last video, we spoke about the frequent guilt that adult daughters of manipulative parents often carry, even when they really haven't done anything specifically wrong per se. We're going to build on that today, looking at this other really common pattern that shows up frequently in adult daughters of manipulative parents, which, as we mentioned, the habit of really monitoring and being very in tune with other people's shifting moods. You may find yourself scanning the emotional temperature of the room and molding yourself based on how others seem to feel, or maybe becoming even a little bit uneasy or a lot uneasy when things feel calm. And if that resonates with you, stick around. This is often described as phrases such as being good at reading people or a strong intuition, very aware, things like that. While that can look like all of those things from the outside, also there's value in looking at it from a different perspective. Monitoring other people's moods is often a learned survival strategy. There's absolutely strengths and benefits to being highly in tune with other people and their emotional states. Today, we're talking about when that attunement to others' feelings is so strong that it creates either chaos inside of you, fear, worry, and that stifles your ability to connect with your own current reality, your own feelings. Growing up in an environment where emotional reactions are unpredictable, intense, controlling, highly critical, your nervous system adapts by staying very alert. You probably learn to notice very small shifts, tone of voice, facial expressions, the energy emitting from your parent, the energy in the room. Doing so really likely played a role in helping you to feel some semblance of connection and to help you feel safe and having some element of predictability to what the parent is about to do, how they could react. As a child, most of us didn't have the option to just leave or even to set boundaries. So instead, you learned with all your being, if I can anticipate what's coming, I can adjust. I can shift. I can mold around this person and their current emotional state. And that could have looked a variety of ways. That might have looked like becoming extra quiet or very helpful, agreeable, emotionally supportive, especially when that parent whose needs or moods felt bigger than yours, louder, more important, more present, more urgent. And over time, this becomes a skill. You likely had so many opportunities to refine this skill of being highly in tune with this parent and predicting and adapting. However, this is a skill that's developed under pressure, a survival adaptation, not as a preference. So this pattern lives in your body, in your nervous system, not just up here. Your nervous system adapts to keep you as safe and connected as possible. When you learn that safety depends on this high level of attunement, of awareness with somebody else, somebody else's fleeting moods, your nervous system stays activated, even in adulthood, which then would make sense under these circumstances why that calm can feel unsettling, unfamiliar, even unsafe, especially if as a child you frequently experienced this calm before the storm. Of course, your body learned not to fully trust that calm, not to relax, not to ease into it, that everything wasn't okay. We as humans pick up on patterns, whether we realize it or not. And you likely picked up on that pattern. Calm precedes an intense emotional shift. So I better brace myself for what's about to come. So it makes sense that fast forward to now, in the present as an adult, when things are calm, uneventful, even quiet, it's understandable if you feel restless or anxious or on edge, uneasy, without maybe knowing why. Your body learned this is the calm before the storm. While it can be a strength, is likely exhausting to constantly be on, to constantly have your nervous system on high alert, waiting for the next storm. It takes a lot out of you. Maybe you find yourself struggling to relax around other people. Or maybe you find yourself almost over explaining your own moods, likely indicating discomfort around that opportunity to connect with yourself, as opposed to that intense attunement with somebody else. You may feel fully responsible for keeping your relationships in harmony. It's very likely that you notice subtle emotional shifts before others do, and maybe even feel compelled to put those flames out, to fix it, to soothe this person. And again, none of this is inherently bad or wrong. We don't need to put any titles or labels on this. It simply means your nervous system continues to operate from this outline that once was necessary. It was necessary to maintain some semblance of connection with your challenging parent, to maintain some semblance of emotional safety. This hypervigilance, this highly refined attunement to other people's moods, this isn't a flaw at all. This is your nervous system's memory, replaying over and over. And it's a beautiful thing to be so in tune with other people. It's difficult when that intense attunement drowns you out. So this awareness that we're creating today around this heightened attunement that you have with other people's moods isn't with the intention of getting rid of this skill, eliminating it. It's to seek some understanding about possibly why it's showing up, recognizing where this is coming from. That is empowering. When we recognize patterns within ourselves, some we might love, others we might not love, and everything in between. And that's okay. That awareness, that recognition is often this first step. Compassionately acknowledging what's happening within me. Where is this coming from? Understanding the why behind our behavior is such a nod to compassion and empathy towards ourselves that you likely dole out so generously to those around you. You likely are so skilled at empathizing and understanding perhaps why other people behave the way they do, even when it's less than stellar. So this is an opportunity to extend that to yourself as well. If this pattern is difficult for you, I hope that this has shed some light perhaps into the why and to offer yourself some love and compassion. If this resonated with you, know that you're not alone. Those of us who are socialized as females, as children, often really experience this heightened attunement with other people's moods for various reasons. So this is a common experience for adult daughters of manipulative parents. And often it's hard to find the words to describe why this feels so challenging, or even what's happening and where it is coming from. My hope is that this community becomes a space for making sense of a lot of these patterns without judgment, without jumping to try to fix or solve or correct. There's nothing wrong with you, and you're welcome here to show up as you, where you're at, in whatever process you're in. I'd like to extend my gratitude for your time, attention, and your energy and sitting with me today. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take good care of yourself. You're so worth it.